What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Lee Black, coming to you from the platform of TFG Ratchet and Real Talk for Real Men. In case you don't know, I host a live show on Wednesdays and Saturdays called Real Talk for Real Men. So please find my channel, subscribe. I definitely would appreciate the support. And it's Real Talk for Real Men, the number 4. And you can find me again on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm also a part of the TFG family. So check me out on TFG Ratchet. I go live all throughout the week on TFG Ratchet with pretty much whatever catches my attention, because that's kind of what I do. I'm the black version of Archie Bunker, so I typically have an opinion on just about everything. As always, Miss Carol, how you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for popping in and checking me out. And if you want to get notifications, that's another great reason to subscribe, because it's no telling when I'm gonna go live, and I speak about whatever's on my mind. And this is another member of the TFG family, Kendrick Sports Hustle. He also has his own show and platform, so don't forget to subscribe. All things sports, and he is the hardest working, baddest man in the game. And that's my brother from another. And in fact, he sent me a clip in terms of what I'm going to be discussing tonight. So thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I was about to end my day and I decided to go live because it caught my attention. And so I appreciate you doing that. And I also welcome ideas, because again, on my shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays, we talk about relationship oriented topics. On Wednesday, where it's a little bit more serious, and on Saturdays, we kind of have some fun. But on today's take, as I'm getting off work, this is a TFG Ratchet moment. And I wanted to talk about dating Black women in 2024. And I know that can be a polarizing subject, and we just celebrated Valentine's Day. And so it's appropriate, I thought that to discuss this clip, because not all of us had somewhere to be, somewhere to go yesterday. And so I myself, I'm admittedly single by choice. And there is a reason why I'm single by choice. And I want to play a clip, and it's going to even further give you some insight into why I am the way I am and why I feel that I do. So hopefully this is a live show. I can share my screen and it'll go off without a hitch, but it's live. So the internet being what it is, but I hope you're able to see my screen and hopefully be able to hear it without a hitch. We'll do what we do. So this is again a clip that was sent to me by my brother, and it's a very short clip, and I'll let it speak for itself, and hopefully it'll go off without a hitch. Check it out.
Thing.
What happened in your dating experience to where you're now like,
It's a lot of pressure on Black men, specifically dating Black women, and I love Black women.
Damn. So we'll get through it. I'll just have to keep hitting the pause and start.
Social media and the culture has put a lot of pressure on us. This could be just based on environment. When I moved to Atlanta, women here are very entitled.
I hate this shit, but okay, we'll get.
And listen, I'm not blaming anybody, so I don't want this to turn into.
When you say entitled, though, what does entitled mean?
I'll say financially entitled. I feel extreme pressure, and I get hit on by white women. I get hit on by all kinds of women. But when I get hit on by Black women, I immediately feel this entitlement of I got to pay for something.
Wow.
I got to pay your rent. I got to help you with your car note. Immediately within 2 weeks, or I'm just saying what I've experienced. I'm not saying that's every woman. Nowadays, if I take somebody on a date,
I don't know why it lags like this, but I'll figure this shit out eventually.
$100
immediately, and I don't even drink. So if she drinks,
come on, it's a fucking short clip. Just come on, just play. Oh, it's fucking frustrating. So fucking frustrating. Okay, so I'm
Drink, that's a couple hundred. If the hookahs, 45, lamb
Dessert?
chops. Is 50 dessert. So by the time VIP
Valet.
card, valet, I was just getting ready to say valet. So we didn't spend $400 for me to see if you like me.
Say that again. Mm.
So it's like I'm spending and I'm spending, I'm spending. That's just the first date. You want to go out again. So I didn't spend $1,000 on 3 dates just to see if you might call
It's literally at its
me
end.
back or maybe text me back. And then because you're a beautiful woman, if you don't like me, you can go get the next man to do the same thing.
What happened?
And that's pretty much in its entirety. It's a short clip, but I think you all get the gist of it, you know, what he's trying to say. And he really highlight what's going on here. And it's not just in Atlanta, just so you know. You know, and the moment he used that word, you saw the women that he's talking to go, you know, and I love how he expressed himself where he said, you know, right there immediately that, look, this is my experience. And he said, you know, I didn't want to make this into a thing about men versus women, but this is just my experience. And I've been saying this for quite I've been telling. I live in Atlanta, Buckhead, Georgia area, Buckhead area of here of Atlanta, and I've been telling people for the longest, and I always use that word. Having moved here, this is a very entitled place, specifically when it references African American women, and when they ask, "Well, what do you mean by entitled?" And the word fits here completely, but not just Atlanta. There is an inherent privilege. They feel like they should be treated or a certain way and just because they're beautiful. And let me state for the record, there are some absolutely stunning women here in Atlanta. They're beautiful, but they do act as if it's their God-given right that it's your responsibility as a man that you have to spend X amount of dollars on them, take them to the finest restaurants, pay their bills and things of that nature. And there's a lot of guys that are frankly just made the decision that I'm out. And that's not just in Atlanta. Again, it's happening in Dallas. It's happening in Little Rock. It's happening in Charlotte. It's happening in New York. This has become too much of a problem. And so where we should be coming together, and we have a series on TFG tonight with Brendan Haynes where we call it the Black Love series. And it's unfortunate because the divide between black men and black women is growing further apart. That gentleman talked about how much he loved black women. I love black women. I'm attracted to black women the most, but it's become way too difficult to ascertain what they're looking for and to navigate those murky waters, especially waiting and hiding in the wings is the whole Me Too thing. And so for a lot of us African American men, we've just decided to bow out. There are a lot of men yesterday that I spoke to, associates of mine. Hey, what you got going on? It's Valentine's Day. You know where a lot of true brothers was at? At home doing nothing. Like I said, not everybody was in a situation where they felt compelled to have to go out and spend X amount to get roses, chocolate, this, that, and the other. And I did my show talking about that on Real Talk for Real Men. But there was a lot of people that frankly just said, you know what? I don't have anybody right now. I'm not trying to position and put myself in that space right now. And so it's unfortunate because that's what's happening. There's some beautiful women, African American women, but I'm going to speak to what my experience is right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I literally had a conversation today with another partner of mine. I cannot wait till my lease is up to move. I'm over this whole area. I literally told my partner today, I said, you know what? I am looking forward to moving to some rural area, nowhere close to downtown Atlanta. I don't want to be near it. I don't want to be close to it at all. I ideally want to get back to a place where if I'm going to meet somebody, it needs to be organic because as he talked about, the dynamic of trying to approach and take a black woman out and get to know her, you're $1,000 in while she's making the decision about whether or not she may or may not like you. And because she's an attractive woman, she can continue that cycle. And so you have that level of ratchetness of being able to take advantage of men at will. And sadly, too many men fall for it because it is what happens. The pressure between social media and, frankly, the fuck. And the truth of the matter is, it's just not worth it to me anymore. Number one, anybody who know me know how I get down. You can keep all the fluff. If I want to fuck, I can go get some pussy anytime I want to. I actually live in a beautiful apartment, but the truth of the matter is, it even became too laborsome to have that type of woman in my home where we're playing this chess match, to be honest with you, where we're playing this game where let me see what I can get from him. And the thing of it is, sweetheart, you're going to lose every single time. I appreciate the real estate insider showing up. That's Mr. TFG himself. Appreciate you, my brother. And so, but the game becomes so tiring. I miss the good old days when you liked me and I liked you. Let's get together. Let's go on somewhat of a real date where we have an opportunity to talk, to get to know each other. But that's not what's happening in these streets, folks. And that's what makes it a ratchet moment, so to speak, is in a sense that the game is rigged from the outset. A lot of men know right off the bat that if I want to take out a certain quality of woman that has all the prerequisite things, that I'm going to have to spend. So in reality, you're both fucking with each other's representative. You're set yourself up to where it's just going to be an empty date, so to speak, and you might not even get to the other part. It's not worth it to me. And contrary to popular belief, not every man that lives here in Atlanta is gay or want dick or is on that other side of the fence. There are quite a few men like myself that, frankly, we just don't want to deal with the bullshit. And so the reality is to get to this stage of my life where I can benefit from the fruits of my labor. I have a pretty decent job. I'm blessed to be able to work from home. I have good transportation. I got a decent bank account. I can go where the fuck I want to go, but I'm not about to play the game that I got to get dressed up and wear a certain kind of fashion and flash a card and spend that kind of a money just so you can figure out whether or not you like me or not. You know what, sweetheart? I like me. And if it's just pussy, they got fleshlights. They got all kinds of little theaters here that I can go get my dick sucked at. I can roam out tonight to go to Walmart to drag a woman home. She might not have the fucking $600 weave on her head, but when the lights go out, I don't need her hair anyway. So if it's just pussy or head I want, and they sucking dick from grade school now, you can get a bitch to suck your dick quicker than you can get her to share a bottle of water with you. So sex is nothing. So if that's all you're bringing to the table, I just don't want to play that game anymore. And so reading a couple of comments, Carol says he was very honest in his assessment, and unfortunately it happens. And Brother Kendrick again says, yeah, it's tough. I understood the brother's experience. I'm single and I don't have that type of money to waste on $400 to $500 dates to win over a woman to see if she likes me. And so this is a brother that he don't live here in Georgia. This is a phenomenon that's happening everywhere. Like I said, New York, Dallas, Little Rock, Charlotte, Memphis, you name it, it's happening everywhere. And there's a lot of men out there that are divesting. We don't want to play anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you make it transactional, there's a lot of guys that say, okay, when I'm ready to go out and I want to get me some pussy, I'll get dressed up in a nice duds. I'll go to a hookah bar, go to the sports lounge, and I'll spend a little money to get sucked that night. And then that's what it is. But in terms of finding something real, it's becoming extremely difficult to find Black women. And I know before everybody get all up in arms and jump on me, I'm talking about my personal experience. And this is in no way denigrating Black women, because I truly love Black women more than any other race. I think they're the most beautiful creatures on the face of the planet. But I also think they got the game fucked up so much so that now that you're sitting on the top of the heap, we're going to wait till that pendulum swings back the other way. There's a lot of men that are saying right now, I'm not playing in your game. And I realized towards the end of last year, I honestly cannot afford a girlfriend at this point. And I don't mean it in the sense that I physically can't afford. Of course I can, but I mean it in the sense that I'm not about to waste my money doing that. I said this to somebody the other day. The kind of woman that a lot of brothers like myself are looking for is, I want a woman to say that, no, Why the fuck would we spend $400 going out one night when we could save that money and take a trip together someplace? But again, as the brother eloquated, social media and the expectation and the sense of entitlement that's happening out here, I guess a lot of these black women feel like since they've been on a low end of the totem pole for so long that now they're going to take it out on everybody, and woe is the person that treads upon me. And it's very sad because what's happening is that a lot of you are going to find yourself alone. They're making bitches that with the fake titties and big asses and twerking this, that, they're making them bitches by the dozen. And for those of you who play in that game, it's a short lifespan, because when you set the bar and make your pussy transactional and make fucking with you transactional, there's always going to be 10 bitches that look just like you coming behind and when it's willing to do it for just a little bit cheaper. It's like anything else. And so it's very sad state of affairs what's happening out here. And I'm glad that this brother made it known that this is what's happening. Kenny says, let me say, I love me some black women. And I think you'd find that's the sentiment, because too often we as men, we get the bad hype put on us that now we want to go to. It's not that. It's just that it's making us look at a different woman that maybe is going to measure up to the standards and qualifications that we're looking for in a good woman. And it's getting to a place where, damn it, if I have to look outside being a black woman, then maybe that's what I have to look at. I work for a culture and a work culture where all I deal with is white women and others, and they do find me attractive. I'm doing my damnedest to try to not go there, but it's damn sure getting hard, to be honest with you. So this is coming from a woman. Carol says, I live in PA, and these women are the same way, thinking that they're deserving of a man with money. Sis, have your own. And so, yeah, it's becoming very difficult. She says, like having a card reader on you on your snatch. And that's a word, Lord knows, Carol, I love to use. That I call it that furry bank, because making empty deposits that I'm never going to get anything out of, you're not saving, to me, I'd rather keep my money in my own pocket. Anyway, this is a conversation I do believe that's worthy of having on a grander scale. And so I thank you, Brother Kenny, for sending me this clip, because I think this is something that we need to talk about in true fashion on Real Talk for Real Men. And so this will likely be a topic that will come up. And so if you want to catch that conversation and even be a part of it, don't forget to go to YouTube and Facebook, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share this content. This is a conversation we should be having on a broader scale. And on my show, we do it in an intelligent way. We have fun with it. It's raw, it's real. But what you're not going to have is us disagreeing without being disagreeable. It's a grown folks setting. That's the only way we get down. And we do that here in total on the TFG family. So if you like content like this, please don't forget to check us out on TFG Ratchet and find me on YouTube and Facebook under Real Talk for Real Men. I'm your host with the most, Lee Black. Let me go and wrap up my evening. I appreciate you for listening. Thanks.